488 in the passenger side. Tying up my shoes, I'm just trying to get by.
All right. Appreciate you taking some time aside to chat with me, Keith. I understand we have about 30 minutes set aside here. Is that right?
Yep, that's what I have on the calendar.
All right. Fantastic. And from my understanding, the main purpose of this conversation is to figure out whether or not there's enough alignment between what you guys need and what we offer to really justify us going a little bit more in depth and taking a next step. Is that right? Perfect. All right. Well, typically the way we go about doing this is I'll just talk to you some, as you can imagine, about your business and your processes, right? The way the selling environment your people are in, to figure out what your needs are. I'll talk to you about examples of how other SaaS companies I've worked with have used video email, and in some cases even other industries as well, who have similar goals and similar priorities as you guys. And off of that, we should be able to figure out whether or not it makes sense to schedule the next step. And then at that point, we'll kind of talk about what that next step might look like and who we should get involved at that point. Sound good?
Sure.
Perfect. All right. Yeah. Go for it.
I get to go first, I guess. All right. So here's feedback for you. Do whatever you want with it, right? To me, like one of the things that you really need to work on is your tone.
Oh, yeah?
You're monotone. So you're just like this. So I get no sense of who you are and what you are passionate about or frustrated by or anything like that. So I find it kind of dull and uninteresting. And when you pitch, I relate it to like baseball. Like I don't care if you have a 100-mile-per-hour fastball. If you throw a 100-mile-per-hour fastball right down the middle every single time, I can time it and I'm eventually going to murder it. So it becomes boring, and I know exactly what's coming. If you want to be interesting, you have to be dynamic. You raise your voice at times, you lower your voice at times, you move your hands around, right? You emote. And I don't get that from you. It feels robotic and flat, right?
Do you think that's part of because you're trying to do it like hyper professional and kind of measured because you're being recorded and or is this kind of your natural way of doing discovery? It's just kind of more the chill. What would you say?
I would like to say it's because I'm nervous and being recorded, but it's probably not a big difference. I'll probably relax a little bit more in a real call setting. But in general, I tend to be much more of a cerebral thinker than an emotional feeler, which means my mind is entirely dedicated on which words I'm going to use and which thoughts I'm going to take. And I pay no attention to like the emotions that I'm putting forward, right?
Yeah, but that is absolutely...
So I don't do much better.
But John, that is absolutely the wrong way to sell to a VP of sales or a VP of marketing, because we are emotional creatures. And I don't think in this computational ROI kind of way, right?
Mm-hmm.